Hello, I'm Robert Greenwald, director and president of Brave New Films, and welcome to the premiere of How Would You Spend $31 Billion? Stick around afterwards for some experiments and questions and suggestions we'll be asking from all of you. And now, the premiere.
Hi, my name is Sean O'Brien, and I work for Brave New Films. I am a producer and editor for the 31 Billion video. I'm going to play it here and talk to you a little bit about the process that we used. So, first off, the way that we came to the idea of this video was that we had read the statistic that Israel had spent 31 billion, or that rather the US had spent $31 billion in total supporting Israel's war in Gaza. And that is a lot of money. But we also realized that most people don't have an understanding of what $31 billion is and how to conceptualize that and what that means to an average person in your life. And so I was tasked with coming up with how else you could spend that money in the United States. And I started looking at things like homelessness. The first statistic that I had come up with is that you could provide shelter to all 771,000 people experiencing homelessness in the United States. That came from a question, which was how many people experiencing homelessness are there in the United States? And the number was surprisingly low to me. 771,000 is a lot of people, but that number to me sounds like something that would be manageable, something that we as the United States, one of the richest country in the world, that we could afford to end that as a problem. And lo and behold, it costs less than $40,000 per person per year to have food, shelter, case management, and healthcare. So everything you need for life can be taken care of for $40,000 per year in the United States. And that math means that you could end homelessness in the United States for an entire year for $31 billion. The other interesting thing about $31 billion is that the Pentagon spends that money every 12 days in the United States. So that math blows my mind. And from there we started kind of unpacking how else could you use $31 billion. And we just asked every question. Well, how many people are veterans in the United States? Bet we could solve that problem. What about hungry children? How many children could you feed breakfast, lunch, and dinner to for an entire decade? And turns out you could feed every hungry child in the US for a decade. Every statistic continued to blow my mind, and I realized that the amount of money that we have given to fund genocide in Israel could easily fix some of our most pressing issues here in the United States. And now we'll go to Robert Greenwald, director and president of Brave New Films, who will close us out.
Thanks, Sean. A question we're most frequently asked at Brave New Films is, how do we decide what films or videos we're going to do? And when do we decide it? 31 billion is in line with much of our work. That is, it's taking numbers and making them relatable for people. Does anybody really know the difference between 31 billion or 1 billion or 100 million? This video is an effort to give context to exactly what 31 billion means, and most importantly, how 31 billion could be used. Think about that for a second. What would you do if you were the decider and you had $31 billion? Erica Yancey, working with Sean O'Brien, has done a great job in finding lots of examples and lots of information. But now we want to hear from you. How would you spend the money? What can we do at Brave New Films to make it more impactful, to spread the word, to really create a context for people so they understand the size and scope and the amount of money being spent? With your suggestions, with your ideas, and what you would like us to do in the future on behind the scenes bonus material that will only be available to those of you on the newsletter. Send us a note, bravenewfilms@gmail.com. Every single email will be read. Whether or not we respond to each of them will depend on how smart and interesting and funny they are. So we look forward to hearing from you. Keep up the work. See you on the front lines. Onward.